We are celebrating, of course, 2 years celebration. I've been doing this, holding it down, having a great time, and also I passed 1,000 subscribers. So I wanted to kind of just talk about the path, thank you guys, and all that good stuff, and just have some fun and talk some geek stuff. So, hello to everybody in the chat that's rolling through. Also, anyone who watches this on the replay, thank you very much. So first, I'm gonna just say thanks to all the folks that have ever watched the video, ever shared a video, ever commented, ever said what up. It's just fun talking geek stuff with you guys. Going over different plot points or who's better than this or who's stronger or why did this character do this, why did this character do that. Really enjoy just like you guys' vibe. And I'll get to like different fans and stuff later, but just the vibe that you guys bring to the show. I try to keep it positive and not, do any like negative stuff. So I just wanted to say thank you, each and every one of you guys, whether you subscribe like way back or if you subscribed yesterday. Thank you so much for just riding with me, rolling through. I know there's been some changes as far as like the scheduling, all that stuff, but that is also because, of course, I am a hashtag new dad. So I'm still trying to figure out that schedule, but I want to be able to talk about cool stuff with you guys, which is always fun. Because we have so much rolling right now. Of course, Avengers Infinity War, which I will get to in a little bit, but I just wanted to say thank you. So thank you to anybody who, shared my videos, watched the videos, commented it, gave me a thumbs up, gave me a thumbs down, all that stuff. It's all brought me to this point and also to continue to go further and further, which is the plan, the idea to do more cool stuff, produce more segments, do more fun stuff for you guys. So now I want to get into some shout outs. Since I've been doing this, there's different contemporaries that I've been doing it with, or folks that have helped me out along the way, all kinds of cool stuff. So straight up, I wanted to give a shout out first. First, shout out goes to my wife. No, but on the real, my wife has to deal with tons of stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Just the scheduling and trying to get. So, big shout out to my wife. Of course, love my wife, yes. And of course, Wakanda forever. But big shout out to all of the other crews that are out there doing their thing. Like, Black Tribbles, Fan Bros, Andre the Black Nerd, Pretty Brown and Nerdy, Geeks of Color, Nerds of Color. I know I forget Black Heroes Matter. Just all of those guys that are out there doing stuff, whether I'm directly involved with them or not, them being in the space, them being more visible helps me. You know what I'm saying? It's high tide raises all ships. So it's just good. And plus, I listen to a lot of their stuff. So any of those groups that I've listed, and I'm sure there's tons of others that just skip in my mind, all of those people, check them out. They might not be your flavor, but if they are, you will have you will have stepped up onto a gym because they are definitely worth checking out. So yeah, after that, Stephen Lemieux from AfterBuzz, I got at him on a stream for the strain, and I ended up being part of AfterBuzz. So, and I still do the Supernatural After Show with Alexis Torres, who will be another part of my shout outs in a second. But AfterBuzz, big shout out to them because I had a lot of fun with them doing streams, running down shows like The Strain, Sleepy Hollow, The Gifted, now Supernatural. But my biggest my biggest shout out goes to, especially from that crew, goes to the Jedi Alliance. I came on to Jedi Alliance when John Roca was on there and Mark Donica were on there. And Mark stayed. John moved on to I think like Collider and stuff. And then Alexis Torres came on. And if you don't know, we do a podcast, all three of us together, since the show has ended. But we do a podcast, all three of us together, that will be dropping today. But yeah, we do a podcast every other week. And that time at Jedi Alliance, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I had so much fun. Much love to Mark Donica. Much love to Alexis Torres. Those two guys are just crew. Love those guys. They're amazing. And you should check their stuff out. Alexis Torres is at A Torres 890, and at Mark Donica is just at Mark Donica, or is it Mark B Donica? I think it's Mark B Donica. Yeah, but check them out. They are great as well. So I got the shout outs out the way. Most of the shout outs that I could think of. Oh, huge shout out. Sorry, huge shout out to Thought Crimes, and especially all of the everyone in the fandom, everyone in the family of Thought Crimes. They have really just, man, they have really showed a brother love. So that's great. Really just embrace me to a whole nother level. So I love that. Big shout out to the Story Geeks. They're great. Big shout out to I'm trying to think. Big shout out to Marquita, that does the show Atlanta, the after show. I mean the reaction for Atlanta with me, and also Sade. So you can check them out at Codename Kids Next Door. They do a lot of short films. They are great filmmakers, and they're winning tons of awards doing their thing. So I mean, the girls know what they're doing. They killing it. Also, and I see another person dropped out, person dropped in. What's up? How you doing? Thank you for coming through, watching, checking. Just chilling out right now, bumping some Dilla, because I figured I'd be super low key, because the newborn is still super duper new. And I was like, I'm not going to do an event. I'm going to do something live and just give a shout out and just talk about some cool stuff with the people that watch and hang. So that's the shout outs. And man, it feels good. It feels good making content. I know there's some geek stuff, some tech geek stuff people wanted me to get into in this show as well, and I'll get to that in a second. But before getting that into the shoutouts, I wanted to get into Dragon Ball Super, because I've been dropping a lot of references, and someone asked me why wouldn't I talk about Dragon Ball Super, and I mean I don't have anything against talking about it. It's just that everyone has said everything there is to say, but I'll drop my statements on it. Dragon Ball Super was good, man. And I expected it to be very bad. I was just like, when someone comes back to a property, sometimes they might be rusty, they might not be prepared for it. But this show ended up being solid. I think there was like one filler arc, but besides that, man, this show has been solid, man. I've loved just the animation, just the fights, seeing the relationships progress. Dragon Ball Super is just on point, man, and I'm glad that we have it. I think the lore is better for having it, and that's a lot different than what I thought when I saw the very first episode. When I saw the very first episode, I was just like, I don't get it. Even though if you've never watched Dragon Ball Super, but you've seen Battle of the Gods and you've seen Revival of F, then you can kind of skip to episode like 28 or 30. You can skip those because the episode 1 through 28 is basically a recap of those movies. They do add some stuff in, but for the most part, it's just a retread, so you can just skip all of that. So that's how I feel. I feel like the show has just done so much for Vegeta, done so much for Frieza, done so much for Goku. Like, just seeing their relationships evolve has been incredible. Oh, yeah, that Dilla joint is on point. Yeah. I love that. Oh man, so yeah, the Dilla joint is on point, but Dragon Ball Super killed it, man. Like, put it in another level for me that I did not expect it to be in. Because at first when it came out, I was like, man, I don't know, maybe they should just leave it alone. But they came through, and like I said, those relationships, like even Bulma leveled up. Like all of these relationships that you kind of didn't realize that you missed, they're back. And you're just like, wow. Man, I miss Vegeta. Man, oh yeah, thanks, Chris. Yo, great to see you. Yeah, man, 1,000. It was a long road, but it's cool, man. Like, exponential growth. So, hopefully 2,000 will be a little bit easier. But yeah, man, like Dragon Ball really stepped up for me. Even seeing like androids' relationships, seeing Piccolo be different around the kids, and they ain't even his kids, but I just like how they expanded on their relationships and made it better. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was dope. But moving on, a lot of people wanted me to get into, since I've been doing this for 2 years. Yeah, what's up, Eon? Nice to see you, man. That's why I did this early to hopefully catch some of you guys over there. But good morning to everyone on the West Coast. When am I getting back on Thought Crimes? We talked on the phone. We're gonna do something soon. But we're just, schedules and stuff. But we're gonna do something soon. I know we want to do. There's like 2 or 3 different segments we want to do. So yeah, Thought Crimes is great. I just checked them out, talking about Nas and Kleph the other day, and Thought Crimes are wonderful, yo. If y'all haven't checked them out, Thought Crimes, which is Thought THOUGHT, and then Crimes with a Z instead of an S. They're on YouTube. They're great. They're funny. They get a little wild. It is definitely adult over there, but they're definitely worth checking out. See, yeah, Dragon Ball, man. Now, see, the funny thing is, Attack on Titan. I haven't watched. I watched like one episode, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Maybe I need to go back and try and see if it's for me. But when I watched the first episode, I was just like, I don't know, man. And it's not that it's weird. It's not that it doesn't look good because it looks great. But I guess the story didn't grab me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that Nas stuff is crazy. Just because you assume a relationship. I mean, no news is good news. So you assume that Kaylee ain't saying nothing, Nas ain't saying nothing. You assume they just got a regular relationship. Yeah, see, because I know you guys are, because I'm in the West Coast, so I think you guys are like 8 hours ahead of me or something like that. Something crazy. Because it's 8:13 here, so it's 8:13 a.m. in Los Angeles. And you said it's like 4 over there. So yeah, I tried to do it early because I know I got some UK folks that roll through and all that good stuff. But that Khalid stuff, man, I'm just like, it's crazy. It's one of those things that you hope aren't true, but you feel, because if it wasn't true, I feel like Nas would have said something by now. So I feel like there's probably some truth to it. Oh man, but let's see. Yeah, that Attack on Titan stuff. So I might go back and check it. But there's so many shows that that I'm even going to talk about later in the stream. So many shows that I'm watching or trying to catch or whatever, that it's like, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem that there are so many good shows now that you can't even watch them all. That's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. So there are some camera geeks and camera nerds that wanted to know what kind of gear that I use. And it's super low budget, man. We just staying low on this joint. Right now I am live streaming on my Samsung S5, and that is not an ad. That is not sponsored. I'm just letting you know the equipment. So none of this stuff is sponsored. I'm just letting you know my equipment. I use a Samsung S5 cell phone to live stream. I live stream here, and then I do the live stream for Atlanta. I have a newer what is this tripod that I use. I have 2 tripods. I have Andover and a newer, but as long as tripod is solid, what I'm saying, you good. As far as my big camera, I got 2 cameras. Yeah, I got a big baby and a small baby. The big baby does the daily show. So the big baby is a Canon 60D, and it's not full frame. It's just APS-C. So it's a crop sensor, but I have that dope. Oh yeah. That Dilla mix is fresh. But I use a Canon 60D, and I have a old Nikon lens on it. So it's like the Nikkor Japan joints that was like the old like 80s, 70s and 80s ones that were like metal housing and like that crystal glass. That's what I use on it. So like that's why it looks so fresh, because the lens is stupid, son. And like you can get them. You can find them around. There's a couple on Amazon. The Canon 60D is like mad available, but it's just old. It's just like a joint that I know. Then I got another baby that I do a lot of like headshots and stuff for, because I also do work outside of YouTube. That is it a Rebel XSI? think it's an XSI. So for the video, I have the cell phone, the S5, also the Canon 60D, the ultimate lens. See, congrats on 1K. Yeah. Thanks, Max. Thanks, man. I got the camera grip. I mean, the handle grip with the battery grip. So puts that on there. And besides that, I use a H4n Zoom recorder, and I use a lapel mic that I keep right here. That's why I wear a lot of black shirts, because the lapel is black, and if I wore a white shirt, it would stick out. So I wear a lot of black shirts to try to hide the lapel. So now you know what I'm saying? You saw it twice. I was thinking about trying to see it the second time last night, but I didn't get a chance to. But Avengers Infinity War, I'm gonna get into that in a second, is crazy. But yeah, so that's my equipment that I use. I have lights. I use I have I can't think of the name of the company. It's on Amazon. But if you DM me on Twitter or something, I can send you the link to all the equipment that I use. What is it? It's like the light housing that has 4 lights in it, and it's like a soft box. You can get it on Amazon, I think like $80-$90. And you get 2 lights. They have their own light tripods, and I can't think of the name of them, but light stands. Oh, the background. Okay, so how the background came to be. So okay, the lights, you can get them. They use daylight CFLs. It can get warm. You know what I'm saying? It can get warm on a brother, but it's dope. I enjoy them. Soft lights. It comes with the focus and all that. So the background, which I painstakingly made and love and all that good stuff. And I got some ideas for some other backgrounds. I just need time juggling that new baby. But okay, so I was getting ready to do the show, and I wanted to have a background that was just weird and collagey and crazy and all that good stuff. So I was like, well, I have a bunch of comics. What if I had like a wall of comics, like plastered, all that stuff, and then kept it modular? Because I got like 4 or 5 of these where I can like modular and whatever, but I use them in other places, and I'm running out of space to keep them. So, I get down, I take a whole bunch of comic books that I'm like, okay, I can sort of get rid of these because either I have duplicates of them, or I've already read them like 4 or 5 times and I don't, need them no more. Because I don't stay in the speculation market. I don't keep comics to sell them or keep comics because of their worth. You know what I'm saying? So I just started taking like cool pages from this one and that one and blah, 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 and cutting them and then like paste them in like straight up elementary school post, the thick poster board with glue sticks and and just a whole afternoon cutting, being sad like, ooh, I don't know if I want to cut this one, but I don't want to cut this one, but it's important for me to have on the wall and stuff like that. So let's go through the wall. All right, up here that's Sonic. That's a Sonic because I love Sonic. You got Assassin's Creed right here. You got Street Fighter, I think 5. That I love. I love Street Fighter. Always been a fan of Street Fighter. Come at me. I haven't played in a long time, but come at me. I got that kin skills that you just don't know nothing about. We got the super best friends, or the super girls or whatever. It's like Wonder Girl, Supergirl, all that, but they're like young. You got my favorite Superman. Yo, look, you should. Why not? It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And then when I get a larger space to like do like different walls and stuff, I'll make sure each wall is like different and stuff, and like that'll be bomb. Guile is that dude, man. He got that hair. You know what I'm saying? He got that. He be using that like that Prel or something, keeping that hair up. You got Aranya. She had Amazing Fantasy for about like 6 or 7 issues. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give to the youth, man. You gotta give to the youth, Eon. You gotta give back. Godfall, which was a Superman comic book storyline that was my favorite Superman suit ever. Darth Vader comic because, just straight up Star Wars. I love it. Method Man comic, yeah. I remember hearing something about it, but I haven't read it. Method Man has a comic. DMC for Run DMC has a comic. And I know will.i.am has a comic as well. Image had put out a book called Manic a long time ago that was an indie book that was super weird, and I just thought it was cool. It just looked great. Vader again, March, and the reason March is important to me is just because I like I'm fusing, or what I continue to try to do is fuse that, what I'm saying, hip hop, that geek, and also that representation of, just being aware of what it is to be black is in this space and in America, and abroad as well. Because I mean, racism is different, but racism is still there. But let's see who else. Aranya. We got Black Panther, of course. Black Panther. There's some behind me that I can't see. Trying to look at like in the camera. But yeah, there's some dope stuff. I know there's a Sonic behind me versus Mega Man, which I thought was dope. You got Vision up here. There's a Thanos in here somewhere. I think that's Thanos right there. Yeah, Thanos. Who else? There's tons of people, but I just wanted to have a collection of kind of like my childhood and earlier years to be represented. One thing that's really cool is if you look, every issue has had not only the big guys, but also DSX from Chuck Collins, who is an amazing artist. He does Bounce right now, which is a web comic. It's super cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, Cooley High. Nice to see you, man. So so that's how the wall came to be. Poster board, glue sticks, and scissors. Yeah, that's that Dilla right there. Yeah. All right. So you know what? That I know of, no, but when I was on Collider, that joint just came out of nowhere. Like I got a message on Tuesday, like, yo, are you free Thursday? So I was like, yeah, I can do this. So came up, did Star Wars. Big shout to Ken, because Ken started Jedi Alliance, which I was on later. So he is directly already assisted me in my like further progression. And then to be back with him on Council was great. Also, big shout out to, of course, Christian Harloff. Of course, we don't agree on Last Jedi, but who does? Oh man, but as far as being on Collider, I'm not sure. But what you should do definitely is, of course, tweet at them. Let them know you want me on for whatever. Movie talk. I'm a morning person. You know what I'm saying? Movie talk, or of course, Star Wars Jedi Council. Just let them know. Let them know you want me on that joint. Tweet them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them you want me on the show because I'm dope. Oh man. So yeah, Collider too. I think they're doing a good thing. Yeah, Collider is. I feel like Collider's trying, and Cooley High. Yeah, I'm gonna get to Avengers in a second. Collider, I feel like they're trying. Let's see, Lord knows I can't even color the lines. Yes, I actually. I'm outside of this. I also do like graphic design, illustration, stuff like that. I'm working on a children's storybook right now. It's been on hold forever, but I have to get it done. I'm gonna try to get it done by the end of this year. It's a lot of work. And Heroes was tweet Snap, be like, Snap, yo, why you ain't got one youngster on there? Why you ain't got at that NERDSoul on there? And he'll probably be like, who? But actually I saw him I posted up a picture. I should repost it. This is a picture when I was outside and Markia Coy and John Schnepp were doing the reactions, and I'm like right beside him, and I'm like, so it's funny. Like I threw that in there. You know what? I'm gonna repost that because I still got that picture. So I'm gonna repost that and I'm gonna try to find that somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, the Collider's been dope. But the good thing about Collider is their change, because if you guys have watched my show since like last year, when John Campia was there, he went through some stuff and he didn't really apologize for it. He tried to kind of like use kind of weak reasons for why he was able to say what he was able to say. I didn't think he should have been able to say it. I made a video about it. And at that time I was like, I'm not watching Collider anymore. Since then, John has left Collider. Collider has made a turn. And I think Collider does realize that you do need a diverse voice on your channel, because even now there are many times where it's like the whole panel is nothing but white guys. And that's, I mean, of course, sometimes with schedules, sometimes that's just how it happens. But I do think that there's enough people available that are black, that are Asian, that are Latino, that are whatever, that we can have some really diverse voices, diverse not only from their perspective, but also from their life and their lifestyles. Let's see, really, what did he say? Oh man, no, I can't get into that. There's an old video. He just said a racial slur way back then. I caught some heat for it, but I still stand on my square. You should not be allowed to say any racial slurs, especially if you're using a weak excuse to try to say that racial slur. And that's for anybody. But so I do think Collider is doing a lot better. Like yesterday, they had Danny Fernandez on there. She's very cool. She's great. And I'm going to get into the women in this field that I love too in a second. But without further ado, we have talked about shout outs. We've talked about some of the technical stuff. Let's talk about Infinity War for a second. And this is going to be spoiler free. I'm just going, because I know there's some people that might be seeing it today or might be seeing it tomorrow. But I mean, you guys will see I put up a spoiler video and a non-spoiler video. Marvel knows who they are. I think that's the biggest thing people don't realize. Like Marvel knows who they are, what they are, and what they want to be. You can see that they have a real serious plan. Like they've been like outlining this for years, and you can see the culmination of this plan and the usage of this plan and all the proper tools in the right direction. These guys are hitting on all cylinders, man. Let's see. I don't know if everybody's seen it, Eon, so I don't want to go there, but I'll just say Marvel is on all cylinders. All characters are dope. There might be a couple that people will say, oh, well, why didn't this happen or why didn't that happen? But the movie is so good that by the end you're like, oh, that's why it was done like this. It's a spectacle film, so it's one that you got to see. I mean, you don't have to see, but you would do yourself a favor to see it in the theater as big as possible, like IMAX. I'm not a fan of 3D, you guys know that, but IMAX, AMC Prime, something as big a screen as possible, as crystal clear as possible, like some Dolby Atmos or something. Let's see, the Russos did better. Oh, yo, look, I'm not even going to compare the directors, because honestly, I like them all for their different reasons. Straight up, like, that's another thing Marvel has done well, man. Dag, yeah, yo, Cooley, how you right, man? Like, this movie is straight slam dunk. But that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Marvel's selection of directors has been so on point. I don't think I guess you could say there's a couple of movies. Ebony Maw, but yeah. Let's not go that far. We'll leave that alone. But I'll just say their directors that they're picking are, man, dumb nice. Like, I mean, you got Ryan Coogler, you got the Russo brothers